We're live. How are y'all doing? We're here to talk about crawfish, live crawfish, cook crawfish, whatever. So if you got any questions, just holler at me. Send them through the chat. So crawfish. Crawfish are from Louisiana. Those are the ones that we get. Live crawfish from Louisiana are running $3 a pound. So you buy a sack, which is in between 30 to 36 pounds in each one. So what you do is grab a pot, say 100 quart, 80 quart pot. You put halfway full of water, say three-quarters full of water. Dump 3 pounds of seasoning inside that pot and put that pot on top of a crawfish burner, a burner that has flames in it. You light it, propane tank, and you boil your water. You put your crawfish in it after your water starts to boil. Wait 20, 30 minutes, take it out, and you've got them ready. So if anybody's got any questions about all of this, just put it down in the chat, and I will answer them as best as I can. So while we're sitting here waiting, I'll probably talk, and I'm trying to get a couple of things lined up on my phone. So it's kind of a relaxed, chill feel, and just kind of join in if you want. If you have any questions, just shoot us through the chat. Make sure. Yep. And I can even do a Q&A, if anybody has any questions. Um, so I guess I would say like the first question that I get asked quite a bit is how do I order it? So you order live crawfish or even cooked crawfish by the pound. It's sold by the pound. So 1 pound of crawfish normally contains 10 to 17 crawfish per pound. It's a All crawfish are different sizes. So therefore you may get more crawfish actually in it than you would say 2 pounds, right? So 1 pound of crawfish is somewhere in between 10 and 16 crawfish per pound. So of course 2 pounds would say be 20 to 35, crawfish per 2 pounds. So that's how we weigh it up by the pound. We have a digital scale that we put it on there and send it through. So I'm taking questions over the phone, so as well. So if y'all have any questions, just send me a message if you know me, and I'll answer them. One of the questions come through just a second ago. I'll go ahead and address that one. How do we cook our crawfish? Okay, so it is actually a large, long process. So the way that we would do it here at the restaurant is what we have is a table that's called a picking table. So you get your sack of crawfish, you cut it open, and then you dump that sack and all the crawfish straight onto the table. That is called our picking table. So from this picking table, we will pick and sort out through the dead crawfish, the bait, some of the artificial bait, some of the fish that got stuck in there. You may find frogs or snails or toads or whatever inside your sack. But what you'll do is just clean it all out, grab your crawfish out, separate those, throw away your dead weight and your grass or rice seed or whatever that's inside the sack. You will take those live crawfish out, and then we put ours in a aerator vat. The vat is probably a 3 foot by five, I'd say 5 foot long uh, vat that is rubber. This is a rubber vat. So what we have is a PVC two PVC pipes that are connected, that are teed off, and they're split down the middle, and one cap is coming up, and we capped it off for back pressure. So we drilled holes into this PVC pipe, and we connected a air pump aerator to aerate the water that is inside of this trough, the 6 foot, 5 foot trough. So what we do is fill it up with halfway full of water, three fourths full of water, and we will take the crawfish that we just sifted through and sorted through, and we will dump those into the vat. So from that vat, we normally leave those in there for at least an hour or two, and just let that air circulate through and let those get cleaned. So we just take it from that vat. We just take a dip them out, take those straight to the crawfish cooker, add our onions and lemons and our seasoning, and we let those cook. So that's the way that we do ours. Every restaurant or every crawfish seller is going to do something just a little bit different. And it's not to say somebody's right or wrong. It's just each individual person has found out the best way that they can do it in the atmosphere that they have in their surroundings. So not everybody is equipped with the exact same setup. So that does make a difference. And it's not to say somebody's right or wrong. It's just what they've been able to develop and to come up with. And that's the thing, is some people are very, this is my way, this is how it's done, and nobody's going to tell me any different. And that's how it is. Some people say like they're only right and they're never wrong. If somebody else is doing it a different way, then that person's wrong. And that's not, I don't believe that. I don't necessarily believe that's the case on everything. It's just each individual kitchen or setup is completely different. So, um, doing this for a living, I've done several kitchens. We've done several kitchens before, and it's just not the square footage, the angles, the corners are not the same. The setup, the same size vent hood, everything is just completely different. So you just have to be creative and come up with whatever best works for you. So that's the way we do it. Now, if you were going to clean and cook crawfish at home, I would suggest this is what I would suggest. I would suggest to grab, say, at your local, wherever you live, your local crawfish supplier, go to them and then ask them directly, do y'all have already pre-washed sacks? Um, I trust crawfish and crawfish vendors, because I do know how hard the business is. So I don't think anybody would. There are some people, of course, that would, try to screw you on the deal or whatever. But most of us out here are true blue and honest. And if you go to the local crawfish supplier and you ask them if they have a pre-washed bag that's available to buy or purchase or order or whatever, they're probably going to steer you in the right direction, because sometimes the farmer actually washes their own crawfish and sends those as well, whenever the restaurant orders their live for the week or for the day or however way they do it. So go to them, ask them if they already have pre-washed sacks. The pre-washed sacks is what I call the cut and cooks. So those are already pre-washed, pre-sifted through. There's very little dead weight in them, because they're already, you've already gotten the gold out of it, per se, the live crawfish. So you will take those, and those are the cut and cooks. So therefore, you don't have to like put your live crawfish inside of an ice chest. You don't have to put your water hose in it. You don't have to like flood the yard out. You don't have to do any of that. You don't have to get soaking wet before family and friends and in this birthday party that you're planning for. You don't have to be soaking wet, right? So if you want to be able to actually enjoy more of the party aspect of it, um, do the cut and cooks. But if you don't, if you actually like the actual process of doing it start to finish and doing it your own, you'll actually save, say, 50 to 75 cents per pound, by doing that, because the already pre-washed sacks are 50 to 75 cents more upcharge per pound, than, say, the regular field runs, and that's just because of a convenience thing, and that's the thing, it only literally adds 10 or $15 extra to the sack, so I would say if you didn't wanna get dirty, 15 bucks. That's like a save, like, that you just saved 2 hours worth of labor washing and picking out dead and cleaning and taking care of these things whenever you could have been having fun with family. So, yeah, that's what I would recommend. But if some people do like the process of actually start to finish from, start literally start to finish, washing, cleaning, sifting, cooking, and then, serving, then definitely do that. Because it is fun. It is fun. But if you're worried about trying to make dinner reservations or something, or trying to make a movie, and you were trying to hurry up and cook. So yeah, that's what I would suggest. That was actually a good question that come in earlier. So I've just been keeping questions. Some people are so I've posted on my Facebook group to send me messages about questions and answers, and I'll answer them. So I'm just pulling these questions straight from my direct messages off Facebook or something like that, or text messages. People that actually know me and do actually have legitimate questions. So I just kind of been answering, little things here and there. There's some questions over here. That's a good one. I'll do that one. The question was, how do I keep crawfish alive if I'm cooking them the next day? So this is what I would do. I would first, wherever you got your crawfish from, I would I would ask that supplier if it's possible, if you're gonna cook, say if you're gonna say for an example, if you came there on Saturday and you were actually gonna cook those on Sunday, ask that supplier, hey, can you just keep them inside your walk-in cooler, and I'll just come by tomorrow and pick them up? Absolutely. I recommend doing that. So that's what we do here. Instead of taking the responsibility and putting it on the customer, uh, of taking care of the crawfish for 10 hours, 12 hours, 18 hours, 24 hours, let us do it. Communicate with us whenever you place your order for live crawfish. Just communicate with us that you are going to be cooking actually the next day. And then we'll just schedule you a time for pickup on the next day. Say, for an example, if you were going to order on Saturday and you weren't going to cook them until Sunday, just tell us you're going to come up pick up on Sunday and we will be here. Just let us know what time. So that's actually a decent question, because some people are under the impression that you have to pick up the same day that you order. You don't have to. You can if you want to. It does give people the opportunity to make, like, say, last minute crawfish boils. Last minute get together possibilities for food options. So doing that is not necessarily like a bad thing, but if worst case scenario, if you had to go out of town with them and you had to pick them up today and you were gonna cook them tomorrow out of town and you were gonna leave tonight out of town, this is what I would recommend. Grab Get an ice chest, make sure the drain plug is unplugged, from the drain, first off. Some of these ice chests are, like, up to date, technology equipped, whatever. I I like them. Don't necessarily like them. There's good and bad to them, but the ones that I'm talking about, I can't say name brands or whatever, but it's the really, really, really thick walled ice chests. The lost caption in some of that is those ice chests have to be pre-chilled. That's why they're so thick. Uh, it takes if you put ice directly inside your ice chest and then expect to use the ice chest within 10 minutes, you're joking yourself. You are going to have to put full of ice for at least an hour or 2. From there, open up your drain plug, drain your water out. So, it'll be pre-chilled. So, what I would recommend was to pre-chill the ice chest. Take everything back out, empty out the water, take out the ice, and you're gonna reuse that ice, the remaining ice that did not melt. You're gonna reuse that. So, what I would suggest is grab a beach towel, an old bath towel, something that you don't mind getting dirty and getting nasty, something long and so you can soak it down. So, soak down this towel, this beach towel, whatever, and have it stretched completely out. What I recommend is to wrap that towel around the sack of crawfish, like tuck it in, like wrap it in. So I would grab that, place that into the ice chest, and then dump that ice water, that ice, the the leftover ice back on top of the crawfish bag. So I'd shut the lid. If it has a lot, lock it. Uh, Dogs, birds, raccoons, squirrels, they're coming for it. It's a live animal and they smell it. Animals are great for their smells. So make sure you shut that lid. So after doing that, this is the second thing that I would recommend. Tilt the ice chest at an angle and shove something underneath the opposite side of the drain hole. So whenever that ice melts, it gets the crawfish, gets the towel wet, gets the crawfish wet, and then the excess water just drains off into the yard, the garage, outside patio, deck, whatever you've got going on, have it drain off somewhere else. So it's the sack is just not sitting stagnant. That's what you don't want to do. You don't want the sack to sit stagnant. Um, that's how you end up with bad crawfish. Um, don't do that. So that's what I would recommend. Uh, you may have a little bit more dead weight than kind of what you're hoping for, but this is the key. If it's a 35 pound sack, if you lose 5 pounds, you still have 30 pounds. So I've always recommended if you need 32 pounds on the dot, I can get it for you, no problem. But if you say that you don't know how many people that you're actually going to plan for and how many people that are actually going to come and eat, um, and you know, there maybe say big crawfish eaters, um, you may want to buy just a little bit extra. There's nothing wrong with buying an extra. Just don't buy like a lot extra. Um, that's what I recommend. So, like, I would say 4, 5, 6 people for 1 sack of crawfish, that's about all you're gonna get. Um, you can average out about 3 to 5 pounds per person. That's about an average. That could fluctuate up or down depending upon, your sides, corn, potato, sausage, mushrooms. So, yeah, that's just one of those things that, it fluctuates with. Um, that was actually a good question. That was a earlier question. I'm gonna grab something to drink. This is the studio, if everybody can see it. Still working on it. There's still quite a bit of stuff going on. Not a bad studio. So I'll answer a couple more. And then I don't even know how long I want to go on live. That's a good question. Um, how do I get prepared for a catering event? That's a good one. So I'm going to write that down. That came off of our Facebook. Okay. So I'm going to type in the chat. If you have any questions, I will do my best to answer. Okay. I'm doing like 2 or 3 things at one time, so give me just 1 second. I'll keep talking. So the question is, how do I get prepared for catering jobs? So what I do is good communication with whoever I'm doing the catering job for. Um, try to figure out exactly what they're needing, what they want, and see if I can make that happen. Sometimes I can't, and I'm very honest, and then I can kind of point them in the direction that they're looking for. It may be literally another caterer, uh, but at least I'm honest. I don't do sushi or anything like that. So, well, what we do is seafood and barbecue, fried fish, um, specialty items, or even crawfish and smoked alligators. We smoke quite a bit of like whole alligators. I call it the tip to tail. So um, we do like specialty things, but I just don't do like sushi or Chinese or Japanese or Korean food or tofu, things like that. I'll point you to the right direction on that one though. But Southern food, Southern cooking, steaks, beef. We smoke chickens and pork butts and ribs and briskets and sausage links, stuff like that. So that's kind of what we do. But what I do is good communication with the person I'm doing the catering job for, and figure out how many people, location, timing, um, how do they want it prepared? kinda shoot them over some photos of the food prior so they know what it looks like. That's the main thing, is, sometimes customers have, expectations, in their head that it's supposed to be like something else that it's not, or maybe say in the same way or style, somebody else, would, right? So, every restaurant's different. That's why we've created our own restaurant, and because we're artists, we want to show our consumers, our audience, how our art is made. So, that's the way that I've looked at it. It's, it's definitely a struggling art, but it is an art, and, it's one of those things is you can't give up on your art, regardless if you're an artist, a comedian, or a painter, you draw, um, sculpt, whatever, a gardener, that's art. That's real art. But yes, so, I just communicate with everybody, figure out what they need. Second thing is always bring more of whatever you think you're gonna do, right? So, like, let's just say if it's a, catfish catering job and you're gonna be cooking for 100 people, average out 3 to 4 pieces, fillets, pieces, whatever you wanna call it, per person, whatever that adds up to be. Bring ec Ooh, sorry, bring extra. So, what I've learned is if you bring just enough, you're not gonna have enough. So, every once in a while, this is what will happen. Um, People will tell you, "Hey, there's gonna be, 20 people for this catering job, private event, for, say, a business, and the employees." What they didn't tell you is that it's going to be the employees not only for that business, but from their other, you know, co-workers business of the shipping department. That's 5 extra people. Then you've got the receiving department. That's another 5. The warehouse manager, that's number 6. So, like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, there's extra people being added to, and plus, I've even seen catering jobs where they said that X amount of people are gonna show up, and then only half shows up. So, not everybody's the same, but for myself, I'm the way that I treat people the way that I would wanna be treated, and if I told the catering people that there's gonna be 20 people, uh, and only 10 showed up, me personally, I'm only gonna charge for the 10. I do see people or hear people say, I would charge the whole $20 or the whole, 20 people, um, because I had to get all my stuff here and da 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 da." It's just accidents happen, and making somebody feel like that, it's you shouldn't have to. You don't have to. You definitely can if you want to, but I choose not to, um, because I've always said this: whatever food that's not cooked, of course, we're gonna keep it refrigeration temperature or even frozen. There's, refrigerators and freezers on the truck, on our catering trailer. So, whatever we don't cook at this catering event, we're literally just gonna take it right back to the restaurant, and we have full range at the restaurant. So, that gives us the opportunity to kinda come up with different specials and, like, have some, like, little hit things that are just for a few days or even for a night shift service or something like that. It actually gives the customer something else to eat, and then plus, it gives the kitchen staff something else to eat too. So, we don't think of it in a negative aspect. We just use it as an advantage and use it like that. So, um, instead of dabbling in the negative connotation of, "Oh, now I got stuck with, 20 pounds of extra chicken or of chicken wings." If I gave my staff 20 pounds of chicken wings, they would go crazy. They would love that. So, just Just that's the way that we think of it. So we enjoy those little hiccups sometimes. Those are fun. Because you do have to take things as you go. Um, but yeah, so communication with the customer, figuring out what they need, always bring extra um bring your tools. Bring your tools. You'll never know. You never know. Never know. Um Make sure you got your business cards. I know that's kind of an old school thing, but giving somebody something directly to their hand, that does something. So, it puts it in the back end of their mind and, whether or not they, enjoy your food after you got done cooking and slaving, like, it's not that big of a deal. Our food's not for everybody, so it's okay, it's by preference. Um so you just never know. If you do have a good customer, you may gain a secondary or thirdary customer or catering job, just because you gave them something, by hand. Um, I found out that giving them something by hand, usually if you give it to somebody and they don't need it, more than likely they're gonna give it to somebody else. I've seen some people throw some stuff away. I'm not saying that they don't, but you only get thrown away is if you're a pest, a nuisance, or you just, not a good person, bad food, whatever. Like, that's normally how that one happens. You just throw it in the trash. But if that individual person doesn't like it, they can definitely give it to somebody else. That's the way that I would do that. So that would be that question there. Um, it says, "What time do we close?" Okay, the restaurant closes at 9 p.m. every night. We're located here in Lake Village, Arkansas, and the restaurant's called River Bend Barbecue Seafood and Steaks. So, if you know anything about Lake Village, we're here on Highway 65 and 82. Our next door neighbor, I can't say their name, but it's a big multi-million dollar company, and we're directly across the street from our local grocery store. So, yeah, if y'all can find us, come out and see us and eat with us. It's called River Bend Restaurant. Okay, well, I'm fixing to get off, and I've answered some of those questions. See y'all.